Welcome to Crit Hit Interviews. I'm Arlian.
I'm Lovie.
And I'm Shrimp.
And we're here today with Henry Winata, also known as Uwil, CEO of Semisoft and lead designer of Legrand Legacy.
There you go. Hello.
So, we heard you sometimes build Gundam models. Which of the Gundams you built are you most proud of?
Okay, I actually have like 12 of them, and I've only built 4 so far. I'm in the midst of building my 5th, so I'm quite ashamed of that. It's been pretty slow about that. I like my Freedom Gundam. It's the RG model. Each of the RG models actually took me about probably a month or so to build. Actually, the Freedom Gundam, it's got like its little wings, behind its backpack and stuff, and I really love it. I've even got like it's the stand, for it to make it float, quote unquote.
I'll admit I'm trash and haven't actually followed Gundam since Wing.
Oh, that's quite a while back actually.
Yeah.
The Freedom and Justice and all that's from the Seed series. So that's
I know
I think,
Seed, just never seen it.
Right after. What's after Wing though? I think that's after. There's quite a gap actually between Seed and its previous Gundam, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Because Seed, it's around when I was in college. That was like in 2002-ish. The first Seed came out, and Wing is like 95, I think.
Yep.
Not sure of the Gundams.
My childhood.
In between.
What's your opinion on the current state and direction of the JRPG genre, both AAA and indie?
The AAA actually they pretty much moved away from what we call like a true turn-based or linear storyline. But most of the AAA are actually doing like open world, multiple, like your decisions affect the story kind of a thing, and you can create your own character, blah blah blah. So
Fallout, Skyrim.
Fallout, Skyrim. So the indies actually are moving into this space, I think, bit by bit. I know making a JRPG is not easy, but I think there's still a market for it. There's still some people who actually love JRPG, especially like turn-based linear JRPG. So that's why the indies are actually moving in to this space, including us.
Awesome. Well, your first Kickstarter for Legrand Legacy actually failed, but you guys didn't give up. You went ahead and did a second one, and it worked that time around. What's been your experience with Kickstarter compared to your expectations going in?
I think the number one advice, if I may say, actually, to anyone going to Kickstarter, keep your expectations low. But also, there's a lot of prep work going in to Kickstarter, actually. A lot of the fan building, a lot of the reaching out. You gotta get a demo ready. You gotta plan out what the rewards are going to be. Is it going to be in budget? Is it going to affect your timeline? Blah blah blah. There's a lot of prep work going into Kickstarter. And once the Kickstarter starts, it doesn't end there, because in our case, actually, my wife is the one helping us with the social media and stuff. And she literally almost didn't sleep for a month for the whole duration of the. Actually, for us, 2 months, right? For both campaigns.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So were you guys like raring to go after the first one, or were you kind of bummed out and it just happened that things went well enough to get a second one going?
Actually, we had a PR guy. Actually, we worked together with PR Hound. We had a talk, so what are we gonna do? Fill this one, and then so we discussed on some of the strategies that we gotta change, and voila. So I think there was only like a month between them, and we launched our second one, I think. So yeah, that was it. I mean, we weren't really like pumped up or anything. But we weren't also not like beaten down or anything. So we're just like, hey, this is life. Just keep at it,
Yeah, get right back on the horse.
Yeah.
considering that you did have some success with Kickstarter, are you gonna try to fund your future projects on it?
I don't know, because I think I gotta talk to the team about that. Because there's a lot of work involving with Kickstarter. I mean, there's the plus, the merits, of course, but there's also a lot of work. So I don't know. No concrete solid plans yet if we want to go with Kickstarter again or not.
So, what has been your favorite memory of watching someone play Legrand Legacy?
Funny story is I was watching someone stream while they were interviewing me at the same time, and she failed. She failed the tutorial and she got a game over, and that was kind of fun. And at the same time, I was like, okay, I think we need to tweak a little bit of the about that, because it's not good for the players to actually get a game over from the tutorial. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of funny though, actually, when it happened.
Sort of impressed.
Yeah.
Not in a good way, but still impressed. Are you happy with how Legrand Legacy was received by fans and critics?
We got an average about like 7.5 ish. I guess that's in the realm of it's good, but it's not amazing. It's not mind blowing or anything. Am I happy? I guess I would be expecting more. Who wouldn't, right? Like, everyone wants to see the 9s and 10s for their game. But I think for this game, since it's our first one, we're trying to learn a lot of things at the same time. So I guess it's kind of to be expected. At least it's not in the 4 or 5s.
Was the game a success financially? What about the Chinese and Korean markets as well?
Actually, we get to learn this, actually, that maybe it's a combination that this is our first and nobody knows about us. It's and our marketing budget isn't like unlimited. So the game itself, I would say it's doing just okay. It's not an explosion. But it's not like, oh, we have 0 sales now, guys, so what are we gonna do? So it's just selling really, like, creeping up slowly.
Yeah.
But for the Chinese and the Korean, actually the Chinese, the US is still the biggest market. I just have to say, the Chinese would come in like second or third. The Korean, actually, we haven't launched the Korean version yet. So we're still in the midst of finalizing the localization. So I don't know, but from one of the preliminary comments about that, don't expect a huge number for the Korean market, because they're mostly an MMO and esports kind of market.
Yep.
So, how did you end up working with Another Indie and Mayflower?
Well, I first met Mayflower actually at Bit Summit when Kickstarter brought us in to present at their booth. That was back in 2016 or so. Wait, 2017. I think it's May. So in Kyoto. So they came over to our booth, and I think the CEO was there as well. So then that was, the rest was history. That was the start. Another indie. We met Vlad, I think.
Oh, Stutzy.
Yeah, Stutzy. That's Stutzy. So I think met Vlad during Tokyo Game Show in September 2017, in a party, actually. I actually forgot what kind of party it is. Probably like a geek out party in Roppongi. And AJ was the one who actually went. I was pretty much knocked out from manning the booth during the show itself. So AJ met with Stutzy, and I think we had a couple of we met before, according to Stutzy. Although forgive me, I don't exactly recall when or where we met, but sorry, Stutzy. but yeah, so that was it. That was how we met during shows, basically.
I was just gonna say, this is gonna be awkward whenever you have your anniversary of that Chinese localization, you don't even remember where you meant cutscenes.
A party,
I
maybe.
think off the record we gotta talk about it first, like make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah. So, did meeting them affect the development of the game beyond additional Chinese and Korean localizations?
For the Korean localization, that was just it. Mayflower only did the localization, I think, and they're going to do some marketing as well on some websites. But for Another Indie, actually, they did put in some comments. But ultimately, of course, it's our decision. So, but we actually appreciate the comments that they gave, because, well, they're in the market way longer than us. They should know better. They should know what to do. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing like, oh no, it's affecting our timeline or anything. But it's been pretty good so far, I think.
Can you tell us a bit about Legrand Legacy for those in the audience who haven't seen it?
It is basically a classic turn-based JRPG with a lot of different features in it. There's tactical warfare, side quests, mini games, NPC recruiting, crafting, so the whole shenanigans of golden era 90s JRPG. If you think of Legend of Dragoon, Suikoden, think of Final Fantasy, and Fire Emblem, those games are actually a big inspiration for this game.
Yeah, back in the day, I saw a screenshot of like this one room and was just like, I'm gonna take a wild stab that there was some inspiration of Legend of Dragoon, and then I like look at like the 3D model versus like the more like painted background.
Yeah.
And it was like, yup, it's that.
Is there anything that didn't make it into the game that you really wanted?
The tactical war actually isn't what I envisioned at first, but it came out actually pretty good, I would have to say. So I'm pretty satisfied with the results. So in the first place, I wanted to do like sort of like, if you know this game called Dragon Force in Sega Saturn.
It rings a bell, but I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a lot of it, and I wanted to do something like that actually, but we run into a wall in regards to the AI, so it was pretty difficult for us. So we scrapped that idea. I mean, yeah, we just keep it in the shelf first, and so we redesigned the whole thing. My game designer actually came up with this idea, so I liked it and we went ahead with it.
Anything else that was sort of there that you were like, I'd like this, but we don't have the time? Or
I guess if points of improvements, I would say I'd love to improve on some of the scripts, some of the 3D models. But yeah, like I said, we don't have a limited budget, so we came up with the best what we can do for now. I guess we can learn as we go and improve on the next one.
all right, so Legrand Legacy has a number of both anti-grind but also anti-frustration mechanics put into place. Things like the gradual scaling down of experience from enemies, but also just the way that you can customize character stats and even create stat boosters midway in the game. How difficult was it to balance the game around player choice before the midway point and after, however? Because, there's nothing really stopping a player from sticking all of their level up points into just luck, which would be unfortunate.
Yeah, that was, by the way, that was a good pun, like that. Unfortunate.
Yeah, no, it's intentional. Lovey just gave me a scowl.
That was actually the idea also behind it, because we wanted to give the player. I mean, on the serious note, we wanted to give the players the freedom to customize their characters however they want. But we kind of want to we actually want to see a stream actually showing like, hey, you know what? I just did something crazy. I just put everything in luck or everything in intelligence. Making my fighters become a mage and my mage become a fighter, and see what's gonna happen. So that was a design choice that we had. In regards to balancing it, yeah, we had quite a back and forth actually. My designer actually, a really big shout out to my designer actually, who balanced this game out. till Kingdom comes. Actually, even now, actually, I think he's still tweaking here and there. If you see some of our patches, we had some balances again here and there. So it's a never ending work, actually, balancing the game.
I'll totally admit I was one of the people that made bad choices, though, because I did not put any points into vitality for ages. So I just died in one hit if I didn't perfect block everything.
Continuing on the topic of design, are there any particular dungeons in Legrand Legacy that you're proud of for the design, and are there any that you wanted to do more with?
I think I'm really proud of the mountain boss. That annoyed the hell out of people. A lot of people.
That was intentional. I was so mad.
It was really long. It was really annoying. Even for me, when I was playing through it, I was like, I don't remember this dungeon being this difficult though. But okay, I guess it is. So and I had to juggle through my items because I had too much.
I had high luck, so I had to keep dropping stuff from my inventory because I was like, oh, I'm just over encumbered and moving and it's freezing me over, and wow.
Yeah.
And I'm back to start again. Thanks Mountain Pass and Slippery Ice.
Yeah, I think that was the most difficult one, but also I guess I would say we are most proud of it because it's the most talked about dungeon.
I know the final one was also just a bastard.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yes. I would say I would have, if I had the time and I have the resources, I would wanted to do more, not more dungeons, but more with the current dungeons, more annoying features, I guess. But we'll leave it at that for now.
Cries inside. I needed to actually take a coffee break from the final dungeon. I was just like, I have been sent back to the start again. I brewed coffee, and then I went back to it and just slowly worked my way through, because I was trying to rush through and avoid fights, and that just got me into more.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Good to know there's more of that to come. Oh god. So, the grimoire system in this game has a bit more nuance in relation to a number of other actions that a player can take. What exactly led to the conception of this particular system, and did it always look this way, or has there been any other variations?
In the beginning, actually, the grimoire when we first designed it, it was supposed to use your HP.
Oh god.
So imagine that. So your HP is actually bar as well, and then after, because of the lore and everything, because you had kind of need to use your life force to cast magic and stuff. So, and when I was trying it out, and I found that, okay, you know what, because of that HP penalty, that I subconsciously wanted to avoid using the grimoire, which I actually don't want to.
Yeah.
So we took it out, and we thought, okay, we probably just make it you have to channel the grimoire, so then you get a high, you get more chances to be interrupted. So that was the downside of it instead.
Which I thought was neat, because it sort of changed the pacing, because grimoire actions always came last in a turn, and that's and people could just knock you out of your casting.
Mm-hmm.
Which it made for a interesting balance. Well, other than healing spells, which were always prioritized in buffs and debuffs, those were always prioritized first, but all the big stuff came last, which made attacking sometimes a really viable option. Or it was interesting. I'm glad that the health penalty was not there. That would have made so many moments in that game tier worthy.
Or controller breaking, keyboard breaking.
I'm just thinking about the bonus boss fight and dropping to 1 health, and then having queued up a grimoire move. I would have just been oh, and now my character kills himself by casting a spell. Yeah, no, I'm glad that's not there.
What led to the decision to streamline the equipment in Legrand Legacy to a single weapon slot per character?
What was the process? I don't particularly remember, but I guess it kind of, because I think I remember we didn't really have the resources to make the cosmetic changes to the models if we changed the weapons and stuff, and I think that's why we just did just a one weapon thingy. Oh, okay, now I remember. I initially designed actually the weapons to be sort of like they have different utilizations. So it's not like when you craft better weapons, then the older ones are obsolete, but actually the made it in a way that each weapon actually give different buffs. So you had a choice to
some of them were side
to
grades.
yeah. So to upgrade to which weapon, except for the ultimate ones, yeah, that would be the best ones. But that was kind of the thinking process behind design choice.
Well, were there ever any plans for other means of character customization?
I think we did plan some for armor and accessories as well, but I think we didn't. We ended up not doing it because, again, resources.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the question that I have been dying to ask. What is the story behind Uwil the Beggar, both as like his exposition gag thing and also as the bonus boss? Like, how did that come to be a part of the game?
Other than the fact I'm narcissistic,
I mean, other than that, yes.
I guess it was a little bit just for fun, and also him being there to kind of explain the lore behind Legrand, what's going on. It's kind of like a crash course in a sense for players to who would want the TLDR version of things. Sometimes like people love to explore. Sometimes people just like, what, give me the gist of it. What's going on behind the universe and stuff like that. So that's why he's there.
So I totally correctly placed him as just an exposition machine, practically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What about the bonus boss thing? Because that was one of the, most vicious things in the game.
Remember Emerald and Ruby weapon from FF7, Omega weapon from 8, and then there was that what's that called, from the Final Fantasy 12? Oh my god, that took
9 had Ozma.
Yeah, 9 had Ozma, 10 had Nemesis. So it's kind of like that, since we're paying an homage to classic JRPG, I guess we kind of gotta put that in, like the crazy optional boss thingy.
The thing that just makes players cry.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Okay.
Whilst there's a lot of different cultural influences in regards to language and aesthetic in Legrand Legacy, there seems to be an especially strong Celtic influence in certain aspects of the game's storyline. What led to that particular inspiration choice?
I think when you're referring to the Celtic influence, you're referring to the design, some of the design, the UI design as well, some of the background and clothing and stuff like that.
And some of the things like Tir na Nog, the ornaments.
Yes. That was actually the concept came from our previous art director, who is not with us, unfortunately. But he came up with the those. I guess I came up with a general broad idea of oh, this is what's gonna be. This is the story. These are the characters. These are the universe. And what happened in Legrand was our previous art director actually expanded on that. So he came up with the Celtic influence and whatnot. So I guess I can't say much, but that was what happened.
So you had a outline, and he flavored it in that way.
Yep.
Okay. Currently, there's a Year of the Dog event available in Legrand Legacy, though it might be over by the time this interview is out. So, first of all, will there be any means for players who miss this particular event to get a chance at clearing it later?
Maybe we would bring it back for the console versions during Lunar New Year next year, because the consoles are coming out in for the Switch. Actually, we're already doing it, so it's coming out in a few months. And the PS4, Xbox One, we plan for Q1 2019. So that would be somewhere near the next Lunar New Year.
All right. And so, secondly, are there any other events planned for the game?
As of now, not yet. But we might actually do something like that again, maybe, if time and resources permits.
What about Semisoft's next project? You mentioned maybe working on a smaller project or something.
Yeah, we're actually working on a top-down, what's that called? Like dungeon crawling-ish kind of a game. Much smaller, much I guess, much more indie, so to speak. It's just to give. It's sort of like okay. What happened with this was we had like an internal pitch, for the next game. We wanted to give, because all the developers are gamers themselves, and they had ideas themselves. So they actually pitched the idea to myself and my partner AJ, and we had like a vote, sort of like a democratic process to it. So we voted on the next, what was the next project gonna be. So we voted on this, basically. I think we might have a demo out by GDC and PAX East, maybe. Oh no, probably just GDC and in Games Connection coming out in a couple of weeks in San Francisco.
Nice.
So AJ is gonna be there. He's gonna show the game. I think I unfortunately I can't make it this year to the States, because usually we have like this yearly pilgrimage to the States, I guess, for the shows.
Fair enough.
So I'm guessing if you'd had your way, would it have been another JRPG instead?
Actually, I am already writing the plot for the next one.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I mean, not this immediate next one, but the next JRPG. Because actually, Semisoft, we wanted it to focus on RPGs basically. So we want for most of the, I guess, bigger games we were launching. We wanted to create. We want to keep creating RPGs. Want to set up shop in that corner right there.
Mm-hmm.
For fan base. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yes, it's gonna be an RPG. Is it gonna be a turn-based linear? Maybe there's gonna be a mix. Maybe we will throw in a little bit of open world-ish, but there's still linear side of the story. We might combine action with turn-based. I don't know, because it's still all on paper right now.
I suppose we can always touch base with you on that one at a later date.
Well, of course, by all means, of course.
In the meantime, are there any content updates or features you may be considering implementing for Legrand?
Yes, we're working on additional ending scenes, much to popular's requests. A lot of people have been asking for it. Actually, some people actually have been messaging me personally, asking me about, hey, the end. I just got to the ending. I don't get what happened to this and that and this and that and who and what. And so
There's
I'm like,
a lot of
okay.
salty tears.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of salty tears.
I meant in the game, but I mean,
Also,
but also out.
Yeah. So I thought, you know what? I think we should create within our limitations. We should work on some additional ending scenes. So actually, what happened was the previous art director who came up with the story and stuff were no longer with us. He wanted to, in a sense, sort of like mind f the players. He wanted to. Actually, it was much dark originally, this game. So when he left the project, we took over, and we thought, I think this is way too dark. We gotta put a little bit of rainbows and sunshines and unicorns to it.
What was it going to be like? Neon Genesis Evangelion Dark?
Yes.
Oh
something
my
like
god!
Yes, it was
Fair.
so dark and no, I mean, okay.
I regret
Dark
not
in
seeing
the-
this though.
Yeah. It would have been also amazing.
I guess it can be amazing, but it can be crazily like creepy. It's a big gamble, I guess.
Yeah.
If you really
Not
know what you're
everyone's
doing.
stick.
Yeah, if you really know what you're doing, if you already have all of it planned out. But the way we see it is like, no, I think it's a little bit too much.
I know players can get salty when things are horribly terrible no matter what you do.
Yeah, that was actually the original, the original storyline. So glad it is what it is today. And what was the other one that I want to say? Lost my train of thoughts actually. Never mind. Let's just move on for now.
Anything you
Yes.
else? I mean, other than like ending stuff, we were talking about
Yes.
features or.
Yes. We are actually going to implement some huge upgrade to the combat system.
Tell me more.
Yeah, it's gonna look a little different, with more camera angles. It's gonna be it's gonna look much more cooler, I guess, in a sense. And I think there was some. I don't remember at the top of my head right now, but there was some mechanics. I mean, it's still turn-based and everything. It still is. It's not going to change, but it's just an upgrade from this one. That's for sure. Yeah.
You sort of already answered the question we had in regards to Legrand Legacy and its porting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in that case, as sort of a final question, I figured I just want to ask this, well, almost final question. What was your favorite minigame out of all the minigames in Legrand Legacy?
That's a tough one, though. I guess I'm sort of torn between the Monster Buster with the fishing game. Yeah. I don't know why, but the girls, like my wife, and there's also a producer in our studio. Both of them love the shopping game. I mean, we're not trying to stereotype anything right here, but it just. So I mean, that was just two people. So okay.
I'm so bad at that one because I have no memory. Which also, like the dueling one, I was not good at. So the ones I did mostly were the knife throwing and the arena. Which I got to like round 8 in the arena and was like, how long have I been in? I'm like checking the clock and I'm like, oh, I've been in this arena for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, because it doesn't stop, I noticed.
Yeah,
like, I killed the giant hand thing even. It was like, I think I was supposed to die there. Like, oh, it's round 6 now? Maybe something else new unique pops up. No, I just have 250,000 points. I should maybe cash these in. And I just kept being like, I'll do it later. And it just, time went away. And I'm like, oh, it's 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to die now. Alrighty. So, Legrand Legacy is currently available on Steam, GOG, Game Jolt, Humble Store, and soon it'll be on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. So head over to legrandlegacy.com for more info, join their Discord to chat with other fans and Uwil himself, and follow Semisoft Studios on Facebook, at Semisoft Studio on Twitter, and visit to keep up with their latest news. Anywhere else you want to direct people to?
I think that's about it. The Discord channel. Did you mention about that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience, or words you may have for aspiring devs?
I guess being a game developer now, I mean, I guess we could say that we have graduated to being a full-fledged game developer now. Now that we've released a game, I guess we now know how hard it is to develop a game, and it puts a lot of different perspective to me and my and the team as well when we're developing games, and not just developing, like marketing, playing games especially. when we see that something's not perfect, we kind of know, we kind of understand, become more understanding. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, we know how hard it is, things like that. It's really hard, and developing a game and marketing a game is equally important, because a lot of the devs, they forget, especially the indies, actually they forget that they had to get the game out there. They had to the game, so that's equally. And the business side of things as well, because no matter how you don't like, not like the business side of things, it is what it is. You gotta, you gotta eat. Your kids gotta go to school and stuff. So it is still a business at the end of the day. So you have to take care of a lot of the business side as well. So don't forget, don't neglect that as well. Other than that, big shout out to all the devs out there working hard, creating their game. So I know how hard it is. So keep at it. If you want to give up, don't. We've been there many times. So just keep at it.
Yeah, already.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh yeah, and a big thank you to you guys, to streamers and media and whatnot, to help us talk about this game and basically let people know about this game.
Yeah. I mean, we love streaming indie games. We don't quite run the reviews now, but we will totally be showcasing different indie games when we got the chance.
Cool. Yeah.
And yeah, it was a pleasure to have you on the show today, and we're quite grateful for you setting aside that time.
Thank you very much. And now I'm going back to bed. Yay!
If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more interviews with other developers, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon to get updates. If you have any suggestions for improvement, please do leave us a comment. And we also have a lovely Discord server where you can speak to other fellow gamers and all of the indie devs. So be sure to join.
See you folks later.